Howdy folks, I'm Mark. I make stuff, and today we're talking about commodity trading sims, specifically a new one that I made recently in React and TypeScript called Spice Hustle, but more about the game later. Trading sims, or mercantile games, have been around about as long as the personal computer. I played a lot of these games as a kid, and they were everywhere, on the ZX Spectrum, Commodore 64, and even my beloved TRS-80. The basic, pun intended, idea was for the player to travel through medieval Europe, or the Old West, or outer space, buying items here and selling them there, and exploiting differences in prices for a tidy profit. You might invest some of that profit in better equipment to enhance your ability to make deals, or increase your carrying capacity. You might need to buy an item in order to give you access to other commodities to trade for higher margins, that kind of thing. My first experience with this type of game was Fur Trader in the book Basic Computer Games, a book I dearly loved growing up and was reunited with a few years ago thanks to a moment of weakness on eBay. You can see from the single page of source code, yes, that's all it takes to run that game, that games of this type didn't need to involve a great deal of complexity to be fun and have a lot of replay value. This past summer, I had a few weeks on my hands while I was waiting for a new gig to start, so I fired up a new TypeScript project that eventually became Spice Hustle. And here it is. Travel from place to place, buying and selling just like the other games in the genre, but one word of warning. Try not to get robbed. For each day of travel in the game, you will roll for random encounters, such as rock slides, floods, wolves, or bandits. Each calamity can affect your cash or your inventory in different ways. As you progress, you can buy items to help protect against these incidents, but you will need to experiment with them to figure out what they do. You start off being able to visit only 3 cities, but as your business expands, you can buy bigger maps with more locations where opportunities for profit abound. And you can buy a bigger backpack or even a cart to carry more stuff from place to place. For saving and loading games, I opted to use local storage. Yes, this makes it possible for users to cheat, but I really couldn't care less if someone cheats in the game, and it really isn't worth setting up the infrastructure for CRUD operations and login, etc., just for a save game feature that, realistically, people won't spend more than a half an hour playing, tops. Another fun feature is that it saves on every turn. You might think this makes things easier, but in fact it can make the game far more difficult when it comes to RNG events like robberies. For example, if you embark on a 4-day journey to buy a rare item, only to find that you don't have enough cash left to buy the thing when you get there, well, your game is saved. So, just to avoid some extra frustration, I did add a simple quick save feature in case you want to save scum your way to glory. No judgment. Also, by the way, each of the cities is named after a cat my wife and I have had, and the flavor text associated with each city is meant to convey that cat's personality. For example, the fancy marble-clad city of Cleone is named after our current long-haired cat Cleo, who seems to think of us as her personal staff. Our first cat, Oscar, was a scrappy little guy, so he became Oscar, a rough and tumble city where violence is just a way of life. While each product can be bought and sold in multiple cities, not all locations allow you to buy or sell a given item. So the player needs to investigate not only what can be bought and sold in each location, but where they can find the price differences to exploit. The prices fluctuate slightly when you travel between cities, so picking out those differences is going to be tricky. Each city has a guild that you can buy your way into, and membership has its privileges, as they say. Some items are discounted for guild members, and some items or equipment can be reserved for guild members only. There is also a banking system where you can stash cash in a savings account or take out a loan if you're strapped. Just remember to pay back your loan on time or, well, bad things will happen. As for what's happening under the hood, I started this game because I was curious about leveraging TypeScript on a project with a complex data structure and how that would affect development and writing tests. Let's get into it. Like all TypeScript projects, this is where we're going to be describing the shape of all the data that we're working in. One of the things I really like about TypeScript in general is that it allows me to take a data first approach or a schema first approach, where when I first started thinking about this game, I started thinking about this, right? Now, it wasn't this from the beginning, it evolved over time, but I was able to take a look at this and say, well, I'm going to need to know which map version they have, how much cash they have, savings, how many loans have they taken out, how much is left, when do they due, that kind of stuff. And you can see these are custom types, like the inventory is an object of inventory items where the ID is the key, right? So it's essentially a hash table. And that allows things to move very quickly without having to do lookups and that sort of thing in an array, for example. And so we track the capacity, we have flags. The flags are used for things like upgrades. It can also be used for purchasing danger remediation items. I don't know what else you'd call them. They're the items you can buy in the tools section of the markets, and you could buy one item and it could be good for making wolves go away. So if you're attacked by wolves, it doesn't count, right? And we'll go over how that works in the Redux actions and the reducers here in a second. If we go down a bit, we'll take a look at the travel state. During the demo, you could see on the map, each day we rolled to see if you had a random encounter. And here we have our dice rolls. We are looking at where are we? We know that from looking at the game state. It's going to have the location. Where are we heading, right? And then how many days is it supposed to take? How many days have we been on the road? And then the route. And we'll take a look later at what that route data looks like. And route danger is the same idea. It's another custom data type that's going to tell you what are you running into, what effects can it have, can this danger affect your inventory, can it affect your cache, can it delay you, and how bad are those, small, medium, large in terms of severity. Let's take a look at our game slice. Buying and selling items are two of the most common things that people do in the game. So let's take a look at how those work. So this action is dispatched from one of the components of type transaction. So the type transaction has the quantity, the item type ID. So if you bought an apple, the item type ID would just be a lowercase string of apple, and the price that you're paying for it, which depends on where you are, what time of year. There's some seasonal prices. And it also includes whether or not you're buying it or selling it in the transaction. So it's not just a buy transaction or sell, it'll tell you. So now that I'm looking at this, I think one area for improvement would be we don't need separate buy and sell. We could just combine them. We can tell from the payload whether we're buying or selling. And then we can either increment or decrement cash on hand and the inventory. We don't really need two separate functions for that. But you get the idea. And we increment the turns and we update the capacity, right? Very simple. Same thing here, pretty much in reverse, right? So we're adding to our cash and updating our net wealth. We're decrementing the item quantity in our inventory. If we look at the travel day, this process travel day, we take that travel turn danger result, right? So at this point, in the front end, you've already seen the dice rolls. What we're doing now is processing the effects of what happened on that day. So the data is going to tell us what types of effects and what the severities are. So each different calamity you can run into might affect some combination of inventory, delay, meaning it's going to increase the number of days you've been out, or it's going to take some of your cash, depending on the severity, small, medium, and large. So we have this thing here under the hood, we're calling it upgrade counter danger. But the idea here is that if I buy something in the store that I happen to know is going to help make wolves go away, for example, if I run into wolves, then it's going to get rid of that because I've used it, I've consumed it. And then it'll skip this block of code, so it won't actually affect my inventory or delay me, for example. So that's pretty cool, but you'll notice that many journeys are more than one day. And so if you bought a counter danger item, once you've used it, it's gone. And so on the second day, if you run into the same danger, well, it's going to take a bite. If you're not careful or very unlucky, you could make a long journey only to end up without the cash you need to buy the thing or without the thing to sell. There are different techniques, right, that you can use to mitigate that. Let's take a look at the images on here. So every item has its own image. We have lots of different images in here. These are components. They could have just been SVG files. For all of these, I just wanted them to be components. That way also I didn't have to worry about them flashing in as they were loaded. They would just be loaded this way. But mostly I thought eventually if I wanted to add animation to these or something programmatic, it would already be in a position where I'd be able to refactor to that, right? So it just made things much easier. Another thing, if you take a look at the source code, and I definitely encourage you to do that, I'm going to put a link to the source code in the description. You'll notice I really don't have any raw text in the JSX. So in this case, you know, the word buy, I could just type the word buy here and be done with it. But I really wanted all of the text to be coming from a language pack because eventually I may want to make this multilingual. You'll notice right now I just have English, and I still think this is helpful, even if I'm not using multi-language, because first of all, it makes this very clean. Some of these strings that I have are quite long. So if these were in my JSX, this could get kind of long and hard to manage. But more importantly, because I used a consistent naming convention for all of my language pack keys, I could do something like this. So you'll see I have all of my items, all the titles and descriptions all right here. If I'm looking at a lamp and I want the title, I take the ID of the item, lamp, I know the prefix and I know the suffix because I want the title or if I want the description. So I can just construct these langpack keys in the code programmatically and not have to worry about this. So it acts not only as a langpack, but as a constants file or really almost a database. You'll also notice the interactive map that we have for the travel feature. No big surprise, it's really just a big old SVG file. It's not even that large. But it has some interactivity that we wrap it with. So we have this get.props is a function that we use to say, am I allowed as the player to travel to this location? Because I'm in location, let's say I'm in Osaka, do I have the ability to get to Boutre? Well, how would I know that? Well, we have our map data in a separate file that says, okay, if I'm going from, let's say, Osaka to the city of Lucy, I would have 1 day journey, my sections, my legs of my journey, and my type of danger I might run into on that travel day is bandits. And I have a 0.3 chance of running into bandits. They would take a small amount of cash and a medium amount of my inventory if I run into that. And then we have a shared component down here, map dangers, that's used on all three of these maps. And that displays those danger items. And that's why in the maps, you'll see these positions. These are for the 3 different maps. So based on which map you're looking at, the position of these different things will change.
My favorite kinds of game projects are ones where simple rules can lead to complex results. I can set up a list of areas and prices, a few rules about travel and guilds, and that's basically it. The gameplay experience includes incredible highs and lows, as random fluctuations in pricing or dice rolls for travel days can work for you or against you. It's not a game with an elaborate plot or characters because for this type of game, it's just not necessary. In other words, the prices are the game, and the player creates the story. Well, that's all I've got for now. I've got a few more of these planned, but they're very loose right now. So my question is this: what are you interested in seeing? Are you a software engineer wanting to explore ideas related to refactoring legacy code or running development teams? Would you be interested in an in-depth series on the development of a JavaScript game? I honestly don't know, and if you're talking to me through your screen, I cannot hear you. You're going to have to let me know in the comments. Anyway, bye!